to be a slouch. I know the dude's going to hit hard. I mean, I was hit by his brother, so I have a feeling that I know what to expect going into that fight. But the problem is, someone that wants to get back into the UFC has a harder time finding fights because no one wants to fight them. And I'm also in the bigger weight classes. Okay. You might know this a little bit. Fighters are fucking prima donnas. Like, holy fuck, they are prima donnas. I'm sure you've talked to a few of them. You're like, why is this so fucking difficult just to get an interview with this person? It's not fun, but it's something you guys have to get comfortable doing. Oh, it's cringy. I'm like, yeah, but you know what? People are going to forget about you. You want to keep them like.
All right, guys, this is Crazy Kev here, and I'm here with Jared Vanderaa. Jared, how we doing, my man?
I'm doing all right. Just had basically breakfast a couple minutes ago, and I'm here now.
Very nice, very nice. And you just competed not too long ago in the cage. I mean, talk to us a little bit more about that last matchup and maybe what's next for you, man.
So I fought three weeks ago. Um, yeah. Did my thing, punched the dude in the face a few times, and TKO'd him, and then now I'm just playing the all fun, all exclusive hurry up and wait game for possibly another fight.
Yeah, no, definitely. And with you waiting on that, with you playing the waiting game, I mean, how quick could we maybe see you back in the cage and for what promotion as well, too?
Uh, at this point, it's fucking anything. I had like three things panned out for August and July, and all of a sudden they all fell through one way or another. So right now I'm hoping to get something. I talked to my manager. They said that he put me on his short notice to get me. He's gonna try to push me back into the UFC. Um, but until then, I don't have any contracts or anything, so I'm looking for a fight because more fights I win, easier it is for the UFC to be like, all right, come on back.
Yeah, no, definitely. And you're on a win streak now. I mean, how many more wins do you think it could maybe take you to maybe see you again back in the UFC?
Uh, I think for a straight up contract without taking a short notice fight, maybe one or two more.
Nice.
Possibly a short notice fight, basically anytime. It just sucks that there's only like three or four heavyweight fights in the next month or so. So yeah.
Yeah. So if you are to make it back in the UFC, you're looking to try to go back in the heavyweight division?
Yeah, for now it is. That's the plan. I would like I would like to kind of see myself get to like 230, walk around and like try to put muscle on from there. And if I stay heavyweight, I stay heavyweight, like just be a solid 230, 240, or maybe try to make that cut to 205. Again, like my last MMA fight that I went to 205, it just didn't pan out. But there was a lot of there was a lot of high expectations on my part, and I bit myself in the ass with that weight cut. That was August of last year, I believe it was. I had a fight 205, miss weight between my scale being off and just not doing it properly. Because my scale said 207, and I got in there and I was just stupid dehydrated. I wish I took a before and after photo. Um, and then I weighed in on their scale. It had me at 210. I was like, fuck. And then because being in California, we have a hydration clause where my opponent basically said he would only accept my fight if I only put up to 220 in my hydration. So if I weighed more than 220, he wasn't going to accept the fight, which is fair. I miss weight, so hydration. He doesn't want me shooting up back to 240. And yeah, so that fight didn't go my way. And then I did a jiu-jitsu match like a month later at 205. So much easier. Like, one, because it was planned, I was able to stay a little bit lighter and easily transitioned to 205 there. And then I was planning on fighting more at 205, but no one was wanting to accept fights with me at 205. Yeah, I just couldn't find a fight at 205. And then the only fights that I was getting offered were heavyweight fights. So I just went back to heavyweight. There's I have a possible uh I have a possible 205 fight up in the horizon in like November. Um so if I don't find anything until November, my next goal is to make 205. And yeah.
That would definitely be awesome. And you mentioned with the UFC, like maybe going to heavyweight if you do get that call. I mean, is there any UFC heavyweights that maybe you think you could match up with right now at the moment that would maybe be a good fit for you?
There's actually a few that come up. The first one I'm thinking of is Austin Lane. Um, I think his athleticism and strength is carrying him very well. I think he's dangerous in that sense, but I think skill and technique wise, I could outwork him and beat him in that sense. So I would like that fight. I have maybe subliminally like thrown his name out there. Um, Marn Bidet, I wouldn't mind going against him. I feel like he still has a lot of crazy power. Sometimes he doesn't utilize it enough, but I think if I could get him into the second or third round, I could outwork Martin. And then lastly, and this this guy isn't because I beat his brother, but Junior Taffa. Um, the big reason is I want to fight him just for the sole purpose is he's fought in glory. Excuse me. And I would like to see how I hold my own towards Justin's brother. And I know he's not going to be a slouch. I know the dude's going to hit hard. I mean, I was hit by his brother, so I have a feeling that I know what to expect going into that fight. So those are like some of the names that I have. There's a few others that come to mind too, but for right now, that's all I have. But if they call me to fight fucking anyone on short notice, I'm gonna be there. Like I have no problem.
Good. No, we're definitely looking forward to it, man. I hope you do get that call soon because you've been on the win streak and you've definitely been working hard. Now, I was curious. I was looking at your topology right after you faced Walter Cortez back in 2023. There's like a hazard symbol against the opponent you just beat. It was like mentioning something about like the promotion was like a little bit off or something. Did you happen to see that on topology and kind of give us a little bit more insight on that fight?
All right, so the promotion is Gladiator, and like a year or two ago, they were basically just giving people fights. I could not find a fight. What Tapology doesn't show, and neither does Sure Dog show, all the fights that fell through. I By the time I fought Waldo to that fight, I think I had 5 fights fall through. Five
Wow.
or 6 fights fall through.
Wow.
So I'm like, I need a fight. I just need to get back on the win streak. Now, and before anyone like jumps, oh, you're padding your record. I'm like, dude, I just needed a fight. Like just to get the ball rolling, to open more doors. Like it sounds stupid, but having a win, even on a lower scene, will get basically the machine going again. Because when you get kicked out of the UFC, no one wants to fight you. Like everyone thinks, okay, when I was coming up, I wanted to fight anyone that just got cut from the UFC. I figured if I could beat him, I belong there. That was my mentality of trying to make it into the UFC. But a lot of these guys are trying to save the big scary fights for the UFC, which I don't blame them. But the problem is, someone that wants to get back into the UFC has a harder time finding fights because no one wants to fight them. And I'm also in the bigger weight classes. Okay, there's already limited heavyweights, let alone heavyweights that are willing to take hard fights. So I was so down on my luck finding fights that I was like, all right, let me go to this promotion. They offered me some dude that was like 6-4 or something like that. I'm like, yeah, I'll take it. And they couldn't find him, so they got me the guy that I fought. And so I went in there. I literally like feint jab, double legged them, and choked them out. Uh, and then at that point, I was like, fuck it. If I can't get a fight, I'm going to 205. And that's kind of when I made that transition to 205. It took me about, I think, a year or so to get there. And yeah, here I am now, back at heavyweight. But I'm at least able to toe the line. Do I want to fight again at 205? Do I want to stay heavy? I'm starting to lift a little bit more. I fucking hate lifting though. Just because I need to be able to match the strength with some of these upper body strength heavyweights, and some of these 205ers aren't fucking little either. So I want to at least have my upper body equivalent to theirs, because I know my leg strength is there, but in fighting, leg strength can only carry you so much.
Right. No, that definitely makes sense. And I'm glad you cleared that up as well too. And another thing too about you, I was curious about. I mean, obviously, you're a beast in the cage, but I mean, outside the cage, man, what do you typically like to do?
Um, I really don't do shit. Like I'm a gamer,
Nice.
and an anime nerd, and a music nerd. Those are like the three things that I do pretty religiously. Like my right leg has a Persona 3 tattoo. I've been a fan of the game for fucking ever. Uh, I come home. I have in my room right now. I have a PS4, PS5, a PSP, a Nintendo DS, and this is just my bedroom. Our living room, we have another PS5, a PS2. So like me and the wifey do game a lot. But I've always been an anime nerd as long as I can remember. A huge Gundam fan. And outside of that, music. I fucking love music. I Because I have no fights planned. I'm planning on going to two concerts this month. One band is Fatalist, and the other one is Lucifina. So I'm looking forward to doing those. And outside of that, I run my business, which is the MMA gym. I train, I coach, and I occasionally write. I'm in the process of editing a book that I'm writing right now, but I fucking hate editing and I'm trash at it. So that process is taking far longer than I ever imagined, but it's one step at a time
Yeah.
on that.
No, that's incredible, man. And you said you're writing a book. Are you able to talk a little bit more about what book you're kind of writing at the moment?
Yeah, one I don't have a title for. I've been struggling with the title so much. A bit of it because the names I have for it, I they're just kind of loose names. Like I'm able to change them, but right now I have a female protagonist named Aaron, and the other protagonist is Ash. Basically, it's a fantasy smut novel. So basically, think I don't know if you're a big reader.
I am. Yes.
All right. It's definitely more of a maybe dark fantasy
Okay.
meets Shades of Grey.
Very nice. Okay. Very interesting. And getting back into gaming, man, you said you and the wife you like to play games. I mean, who's better, you or the wifey?
Depends on our games. She is a Call of Duty snob. Uh, she has over 2,000 hours on COD. Yeah, it's disgusting. But she's definitely the better COD player. Uh, don't let her hear me say that because she'll never let me down. Uh, I'm more of an RPG single player person. I fucking like. I just got COD just to play with her, and because she has like discords and like she has like times where she plays with certain people, and I'm just like, no, I don't like dealing. Like I'm like, babe, I'll love to play with just you, but fuck all these other people. I'm like, I, like I'm just like an RPG guy. Like I go hard on single player fantasy games. I'm like I want to be left alone in a sense. I don't want someone being like, "Hey, go over here, do this. Oh, hey, shoot that person." And it's just like, let me just go fight this fucking boss over here and die 15 times. Or fucking like, hey, let me go on this side quest. Oh, there's another side quest. Say less. I'll be there. So yeah, depending on the style of games, I'm better at the RPGs section. She's maybe a better first person shooter gamer.
Fair enough. No, that's definitely pretty awesome, man. And you were also mentioning concerts and stuff. You're going to be going to two of them, but I mean, what's maybe your favorite concert that you ever went to?
Ooh, that one's tough because it has was it? I haven't really been to any of the really big ones. One band in particular I love seeing, even though I don't listen to their music on a studio level, is Whitechapel.
Okay.
I watched that motherfucker go hard. Every time he gets on stage, I love watching Whitechapel live. I remember, I think the first time I saw them was it Oz? It was either Ozfest or Mayhem. He just goes fucking nuts. I'm just like, no, it was not Fest. I think it was in San Bernardino, and this little dude just going fucking wild on stage. I'm like, this motherfucker's fun, and so I he's one of my preferred favorite artists to see live. More on the indie scene. I one of my personal favorites. On Andreas I can't say his last name. He's from Bakersfield area. Have all of his albums. I've seen him like 4 or 5 times. Me and the wife, love his music, so we've seen him. Definitely, maybe the most. Another one I really enjoy is Johnny Craig. I've seen him with Slaves. I've seen his solo stuff. Dude's voice is just immaculate. His range is one of the best. I'm glad to see him finally get pushing in his career because he has one of those voices that could be really huge. Like he could hang with, I think, the lights of the weekend and stuff like that. So those are some of my favorite concerts that I've been to.
Yeah, no, that's definitely pretty awesome, man. And you mentioned you like to do coaching and stuff too. I mean, how do you think coaching makes you a better fighter?
Oh, I don't like doing it. I have to. There's completely difference. I own an MMA gym and I fucking hate it. Oh yeah, fucking coaching is stupid as fuck. I think some people are great at. Okay, if anything, I prefer coaching teenagers and kids. Just because they don't have like there's this they're a lot more open to things. They're not set in their ways just yet. Once they're like over like 20, I'm just like, I'm gonna fucking shoot myself. And all right, I don't. Okay, you might know this a little bit. Fighters are fucking prima donnas. Like, holy fuck, they are prima donnas. I'm sure you've talked to a few of them. You're like, why is this so fucking difficult just to get an interview with this person? Like
Oh yeah.
I've I've met I've I've had a few guys that I'm like, hey, let's work your social media. Like it's not fun, but it's something you guys have to get comfortable doing. Oh, it's cringy. I'm like, yeah, but you know what? People are going to forget about you. You want to keep them remembering you? Post. Do like I get it's stupid. I'm not a fan of it myself. Like there's days like I think this whole week I might have failed miserably on posting shit, but that's how people keep you in mind. I've met fighters that god awful fighters, but they have such a big social media platform. They've gotten tens of thousands of dollars as amateurs because they know how to speak in a mic, they know how to take photos. And I'm just like, do that if you want to make some money. If you don't want to work, be a social media person. And it's like, but it's cringy and stupid. I'm just like, well, then shut the fuck up then. Like, go to work and then train. Like, I don't want to fucking hear you complain anymore. Oh, well, I'm like, no, you have your options. You could focus on training, do social media, maybe have a night job or a part time job until your social media shit picks up. Or you could just work a normal job and then bitch about how you're not getting enough training in because you won't sacrifice your fucking feelings or it's cringy. I'm too good for this bullshit. It's like, as you can tell, I
Yeah.
have a very, very, very loving soft spot for coaching.
Yeah, no, no, definitely. I definitely hear you when it comes to like booking the interviews and stuff. You were definitely one of the easier ones. Hey, for this time, this day, all right, see you then. I wish everybody was like you when it comes to that sense. But yeah, man, getting back into social media. I mean, what's maybe some of your favorite things that you like to post on social media to help your kind of platform grow?
Oh, I haven't found my little niche to like really help boost it. Half the reason is one, I have way too many ideas that I want to like do at once. I am one of those big thinker kind of guys that have a million ideas. I'm like, this sounds great. And I like either I don't have the means to follow through with it or I'm just too busy. And that's one thing I don't think people understand. I'm speaking only for myself. I'm a very, very busy human being. And like we both know that there's like a few kind of busies. There's people that work and then they're just tired, but they're working hard, they're busting their ass. But then there's people I feel like I kind of fall in this ladder that when they say they're busy, they are fucking busy. I get on average 5 to 6 hours of sleep a night. The only times I have usually off are weekends, which I try to focus on being around my kids. Uh, but during the week, I wake up at 5:30 in the morning. I leave my house by 6 just to get to Huntington Beach by 8. Train from 8 to sometimes 12 o'clock at night. Drive back home. I'll get home around 1:32. And then I go to work at 3:30. Like I open up my gym, I mop the mats, and I coach from basically 4 to 9, close up shop, come home, shower, make food, or if food's not made, eat food, get my kids ready for bed. Then by that time, like I get a chance to settle down. It's already 11 o'clock at night. Uh, Try to fall asleep between 11 and 12. Just repeat that again.
Yeah. Wow. That's definitely busy.
Yeah. And so when I can, I try to game, I try to veg out and stuff. But for the most part, I just can't. Like, I'm just a busy fucking dude. And yeah, yeah, that's a lot.
Yeah, no, it definitely sounds like it, man. And a little bit about me. I'm a Taekwondo instructor myself. I've been teaching for 6 years now. I've been training for 19 years. I started when I was 5 years old, so I just love martial arts as well too. And with all the guys that got in my gym, what advice would you give to them to keep on coming into the gym and to keep on getting better and better every day?
Honestly, I would just say consistency is key. It's the most preached thing everyone says, but it's honestly the truth. It's easy to find excuses not to come in. It's easy to not show up. But it also gets easier when you show up every fucking day. You get better without noticing it. And then it gets easier to show what you're capable of more you show up. So show up. Be ready to learn. Be open minded to it. Um, Consistency literally is key, and it's the most important thing. I like this last couple weeks. I've watched people lose because they're not being consistent. They're not showing up every fucking day. Like earlier, earlier in our conversation, we are talking about my last fight, but what I glossed over was my last fight was about 3 weeks ago. 2 weeks prior to my last fight, I fought again. Like I fought twice in 2 weeks. I won that one in a minute and 30 seconds. I won the second one in about 2.5 minutes. But the reason why I was able to do that was I was constantly training. I literally won my last fight, immediately flew home, and I was in practice Monday. Monday through the following Monday, I was at the gym every day. There's been people that have fought before me, like in early May or something like that, that I hadn't seen for a minute. And then there's my ass that fought twice. And it's like, hey, let's go. Let's go time. And they're like, wait, what? Why? I'm like, the consistency. You want to get places, consistency. And consistently showing up gyms allows you to be ready, allows you to grow, and it just allows you to have that sense of, you know, for me, I like it because it's kind of scheduled and it just makes my life a little bit easier.
Yeah.
So, like I said, consistency is very, very fucking important because, again, I know so many fighters that, oh, I won. They want to take holiday for like 6, 7 weeks off, and it's like, okay, that's maybe a little too much. My last fight, again, 3 weeks ago, I took a full week off, and my God, was that rough? Because I'm slightly a workaholic too, so I'm just like I'm like at home at like 8 in the morning. I'm like, uh, okay, Saturday and Sunday, fine, but today I'm like, it's Monday, what to do? And then literally the following week, I was back at practice. I was like, yeah. And they're like, Jared, you need to take some time off. I'm like, I did. I took a week off. They're like, more. I'm like, I'm not sore. I'm not hurt. I enjoy doing this. I'm like, what's the issue?
Right.
And they're like, oh, well, we're just used to people taking 6, 7 weeks off. I'm like, I'm not one of those. Like, I have a training partner who fought earlier than me. He fought like mid May, but the following week he was in there sparring and helping me and my other training partner getting ready. So once we all had our fights, he was like, you know, I'm taking my break too. I'm like, all right, cool. So I mean, there's just it's just again the importance of consistency needs to be like ingrained in I think a lot more people's heads to really truly appreciate how important it really is.
No, I definitely agree with you, Jared. I definitely think consistency is very important. And yeah, I definitely agree with you. I definitely think you need to keep up the hard work to kind of get back to where you want to be. And Jared, that was an awesome message. And speaking of messages, man, I mean, what's maybe your final message out there for the fans watching this video?
Uh, Honestly, I don't really have that. Like, I'm not one of those philosophizers. Sorry, Zoolander. uh, just be consistent. Enjoy what you do. Like, and that goes for anyone that's just fans of sport that likes to hear, us talk. whatever you do, be consistent, take pride in it, and try to grow. Because more you do that, uh, honestly, the better off you're going to be. And I do want to apologize for slurring, stumbling, and going in circles because I am that person that will just, and I'll go off in tangents into La La Land. So sorry for hearing me ramble.
No, Jared, it's been awesome talking to you, man. Like I said, it was great talking to you, and like you said with the interviews, I'm glad we were able to book one nice and easy, nice and smooth, and I'm looking forward to what's next for you, man. And hopefully you get that UFC call again because I'm rooting for you, and best of luck with whatever's next with you, man.
Thank you. I appreciate you for having me on the show and the listeners listening to me to ramble. So
Yeah,
appreciate it.
absolutely, and hopefully we can do another one, Jared. And again, man, best of luck, and we're looking forward to what's next, and hopefully the UFC is going to be calling you soon.
Thank you.
You're the man. All right, man. Enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you once again.
You too.